Well, demand is surging for food banks across the nation, including right here in San Diego, but donations are falling. Joining us now to talk more about this and how you can help is the CEO of Jacobson Cushman San Diego Food Bank, Casey Castillo. Hey, Casey, great to see you. Thanks for joining us. Happy New Year.
Logan, Happy New Year to you. Thanks for having me.
It's our pleasure. So just tell us what's happening with the demand for food. These, folks, they're food insecure. They need the donations. They need the food. What are you seeing in that regard?
So yeah, need is up. We start seeing indications of that in the fall. Our programs were increasing. We're actually on pace to distribute 15% more food this year. That'll account for 5 million more meals. So our recipients and the people who need food are still facing a lot of the same challenges, rising costs. Really, inflation is wreaking havoc on them, and they're seeing food cost increases, rent, utilities, healthcare, all these things coming at them. They're still struggling, and again, we're seeing that need increase.
As I think about the issue and I was researching it, I'm thinking, during the holidays, that's when a lot of people are donating, right? I mean, you're in the good spirit and you start donating money and maybe food to all of these different holiday food drives. But then after the holidays are over, you start looking at those bills, all the money you spent on the holidays, and maybe you just don't really have enough to now be donating to food banks. What are you seeing? What's the difference between last month and this month, and what do you see for the following months?
Well, the majority of our gifts do come during the holidays, and we typically see that drop-off occur in January at the beginning of the new year. What we're seeing is what's happening, I think, throughout the country. Philanthropic support is trending down. It's been doing that for a couple of years. The San Diego Food Bank's kind of hung tough and has been bucking those trends, but we started to see what others are seeing throughout the country again during the fall. It's anticipated that individual giving and actually overall donations and the volume of those donations is going to be down about 10% in 2023. Again, we were able to fight against some of that, but we started seeing individual contributions specifically decrease during the fall and into the holidays. Now, that's one of our biggest categories. We rely on that grassroots donor, the donor that's donating $25 or $50 or $100. It's really critical to our operations. I often talk about our volunteers being the lifeblood of our organization and what we do. Well, our grassroots donors are the heartbeat. And again, we're concerned about that particular area, but we also get it, right? Just like our recipients are dealing with the impacts of inflation, that grassroots donor is also dealing with rising costs, leaving them less disposable income. And that's why we're starting to see indications of that, and that's what's happening throughout the country.
So what can people do to help?
Well, there are lots of ways to support the San Diego Food Bank. I would start with volunteering. We rely on volunteers. 13,000 volunteers that came to both of our warehouses in Miramar and Vista last year and helped out at our distributions. And then there are other ways to give, like food donations, and that could be done at hosting a food drive or participating in a food drive. And there's also virtual food drive opportunities. So lots of ways to support those that are facing food insecurity right here in San Diego County.
Okay, and of course, monetary donations. Sometimes that's just easier for somebody, right? They can go to the website, they can type in a credit card, make a donation, and you're good.
That's absolutely right. A dollar goes a long way. We're able to leverage our network and the relationships we have so that dollar can translate into 2 meals. So it goes a long way. In fact, we received a $1 donation about 6 months ago. A gentleman said that he'd been food insecure, utilized our services in the past. He didn't have a lot to give, but he wanted to contribute, and that dollar matters.
Yeah, boy, it sure does. I mean, if everybody just did that, there'd be a lot of money. All right, Casey Castillo with the Food Bank. Great to see you, Casey. Thank you.
Logan, thank you.